Hello ducks, welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. How is everybody's Sunday morning going? I've been up and about, I've been to the barbers, I've been for a coffee in town, just done a little bit of food shopping, and now I'm back. It's late morning, 11:30, and as promised yesterday at the end of the live, the couple of catch up and cards, which was lovely, by the way. I really enjoyed just hanging out yesterday and chewing the fat and chatting with people and having that space where we can all come together. It was really nice without kind of a hard and fast fixed agenda. Anyway, I mentioned that we would be looking at this deck, which is a new deck by Natalia Velez. Now, when Cheryl and I did the spotlight last weekend, I think from the consensus in the chat, we were told that this was pronounced Sortilegium. I've been online and gone to pronounce.com, and apparently it's a Latin word, which is Sortilegium, which translates as something that predicts the future, which I guess is, in keeping. So Sortilegium Tarot by Natalie Velez, and it's the fact that it's a tool for predicting the future. So on the back it says Sortilegium Tarot, whose title refers to card readings for spellcasting and divination, prevents magical people in mystical places. With titles in English and Spanish, Colombian artist Natalia Velez brings each character to life with unique personality, attributes, and vibrant colours that emanate strength and vitality. The 160-page bilingual guidebook presents tales of enchantment as well as tarot arcanum, symbology, and meanings in both upright and reverse positions. It also includes instructions for working with card spreads for divination and spell work. The 78 cards have gilt edges and are presented in a gold foil accented box. It's by US Games, as you can see here, and the logo is there. The artwork is really nice, actually. I was quite impressed. I mean, it says presented in a gold foil accented box. That's not the case, so I'm not quite sure whether it was meant to have gold foil, but this has no gold foil at all, so I'm not quite sure why they'd write that on the back of the box, but then not present that. I'm just making sure I haven't read it wrong. 78 cards have gilt edges and are presented in a gold foil accented box. Yeah, not the case. How strange. I mean, if they decided not to do it, then you would think they would just change the font, wouldn't you? The design, I'm liking these designs where it makes it easy to grab the base and just slide the two parts of the box apart. It's a nice sturdy box, sturdy-ish box. It's not too bad. This is the bilingual book, and then we have the cards, which are in linen cardstock, which is really nice. We'll look at them in a minute. They're very slippy because it's that beautiful soft linen, akin to Pagan Otherworlds, Carnival at the End of the World, Earth Magic, those sort of decks. So, Sortilegium Tarot, this is the book. Just have a see how many. It said 160 pages, did it? Did I read that right? Yeah, 158, but then there's a couple of pages extra, notes, etc. But it is split into two languages. So in English, you get 81 pages. So yeah, a little bit about the author. We've got some spreads like the cross spread and the Celtic cross spread. horseshoe spread, quite popular, well-known spreads. And then we have some spells at the back. How to read tarot. We've got the card meanings. There are no images other than, you know, explaining that this is the sword suit and that's the sword. But no images of the cards in the book. Will it be interesting to, let's see what you get. So we've stopped on the devil. We've got a serpent here. So you get some representation that you'd have in the card, like on the tower, we've got somebody falling. And then it sounds like it describes the scene in the card. A young blacksmith followed a beguiling woman to a castle. So let's have a quick look at the devil card. Okay, so it's telling a story, really. Oh, I love the shadow behind her. And then let's just have a look at the tower. I've gone too far. No, I haven't. Okay, so we've got the scene there. There's the image that's in the book. This person here falling. A nobleman organised a great feast in his tower where the guests were... Yeah, so it might not describe necessarily the scene, what's happening, but it's setting a story, a narrative around the images in the cards, which I like that. So a nobleman organised a great feast in the tower where the guests were of high birth and the most arrogant citizens of the kingdom. Suddenly, lightning struck the tower and the nobles ran and jumped to save themselves as the tower collapsed. Okay, so, and then we get what they're calling the Arcanum, or Arcanum, however you say it, the symbology of the card, and then a meaning and an upright and reversed. The devil may be good looking since she is, after all, an angel, but she is also a monster because of her corruption. So I do like US Games books in terms of companion books to decks. They do tend to have a lot more information than you'd get from perhaps some other publishers, where they just kind of give you generic paragraphs on, you know, what the fool means, what the magician means, etc. Oh, we've got a witchy tip here. It's advisable to have 2 decks, one for personal use and the second for conducting readings for other people in order to avoid your own deck coming into contact with foreign energies. I don't agree with that at all. For me, that's telling you to buy 2 decks. I choose to buy 2 decks sometimes as a backup, but there are things you can do with your cards if somebody else, and it's a big if, but if you allow somebody else to handle your cards, there are cleansing techniques that you can do to save yourself some money. So I don't particularly like that, telling you to buy 2 decks, one for you and one for other people to use, especially with the price of tarot decks recently, even mass market ones. So yeah, that's just my view. I don't think you need 2 decks, unless you want 2 decks, of course. All right, I'm going to bring the camera down. I just dropped one of the cards. The fool went off on its own journey. And we'll have a look at these images together. All right, so hopefully you can see now with this being close up, look how lovely this soft linen cardstock is. It's really high quality. These are the backs, which I like this. It's like you're stepping through into another realm, into this portal. It's really beautiful, beautiful backs. In terms of card size, they're a little bit shorter than their usual US Games. As you can see here, this is a kind of a standard tarot size US Games MPC type. This is shorter, so but it doesn't actually feel that way, and I think it's maybe because it's borderless, with the exception of the bottom where you have this panel with the 2 languages of English and Spanish. The gilding is nice. It's a like a yellow gold, very light, pale. But yeah, the gilding is really nice. There's no chipping yet or anything on it. I don't think these came with a band around them. I think they, which can damage the cards. I think they were just wrapped. So, but anyway, here is our full card. Very much sort of a performing, it's in a woodland area, look, it's like an outdoor stage. I love how the dog is peeping around the curtain at the back. But yeah, sort of like entertaining perhaps the courtiers, or, you know, but outside. Here we have the magician. She's a powerful sorceress, isn't she? There's lots of energy in that card. Here's our high priestess. I love that this is at night time, and this glow of energy and magic around her. The Empress, beautiful peacock. And it does feel, I'm glad the book is written in such a way that it's like relaying a tale, because these do feel like storybook images, really. The High Priest as the Hierophant. Got the cross keys there on the book. Our lovers. I love the little cherub here as part of the ornamental kind of decoration of the arch. The Chariot. Justice is at 8, which is interesting. We have the Hermit. Look at this owl looking down. Almost in bemusement, really. It's quite an unusual staff as well, with a candle in the top. Don't know how practical that would be, but... And then the wheel here is like a circus trick, isn't it? Of the, you know, throwing the daggers on the spinning wheel with somebody in between. Beautiful strength card. That's a really gorgeous image. And the fish in the water, look. The Hanged Man. In this case it's a hanged woman, but still referred to as the Hanged Man. Death. Death is really interesting. We've got these heads, bodiless heads in this boat, and a skull here. She's going through, it's like a Venice scene or something, isn't it? Temperance at the well. The Devil, which we looked at in the book. I love the shadow here. And she's really commanding the attention of the snakes. The Tower card. This is a beautiful star card. I love them in the black sky behind the moon. The sun. Look at this, the Judgment card. There's so much to take in here. They're just crawling through the earth rather than seeing the caskets being opened. They're kind of crawling out to the earth. She's got muck and he's got muck. Soil on the arms. There's somebody off in the distance there waving. But look at this angel. the world. Love the crystals here. And then we go into our minor suits. So we're starting with the swords. We've got the Ace of Swords. This is very, the imagery, particularly in the minors, is very aligned to RWS. So I was quite surprised to see Justice at 8. Three of Swords. Wow, it's a different kind of Three of Swords, isn't it? The Four of Swords, she looks like Sleeping Beauty. That's what I mean about the kind of the story, fairy tale kind of. Although all the women in this deck are very powerful, very fierce, even with like the colour of their hair, the flame reds and their outfits, even like the angel in the, where was it, in the Judgment card, you know, she's pretty fierce. The Six of Swords, quite traditional Six of Swords. This is the 7. Here's our 8 and 9, and then we have 10. So our courts are Page, Knight, then we have King and Queen. So the Queen is placed after King, but I mean, once this deck's shuffled, but it's interesting how they've ordered them. We have our Pentacles. And notice all the aces have a female character holding the element association for that suit. That's a lovely image. Wrap up warm. It's quite an older looking page, really. I'm used to seeing pages being depicted as quite young. It's nice to see a female knight. In fact, the king looks younger than the page. And we have our Ace of Cups, the 2. That's interesting. That seems like a very similar setting, background as the Three of Swords. Yeah, it's very similar. Almost like it could be at a different time of the year, really. I guess we are inhabiting this world. So I think, you know, if you're used to reading with RWS, I think this isn't going to be, you know, too challenging at all. I like the soft colours. There's a nice vibe to this deck. And our final suit is the Wands. These cards, quality of these cards are exceptional. A few decks are now coming out on linen cardstock. See, and there's this paradox here that I've noticed, because the landscape, the world in which this deck is kind of inhabiting, is of like it feels like of a medieval time, but then you get very modern outfits. You know, we've got this pink leopard print leggings and these purple boots, and yeah, it's just really, really interesting. So that's the Sortilegium deck. Let me know your thoughts. I don't think it's been out long. If in fact it is even out yet, I should have checked really, because this was sent to me by Cheryl at Oneness Emporium, and Cheryl does tend to get decks ahead of the release date, so that could quite well be the case. But if you have got this deck, let me know what you think to it. Yeah, and I'd be interested if you want to leave your comments below. If you buy this deck and you buy it from the Oneness Emporium, where the information is listed in the description, don't forget to use the discount code Hermits10, which will appear here, because then you'll get 10% off at checkout. So thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.